pickle, 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 pickle. It is up in your face, chase, fire it up, don't be late, get some, set and stop as we rock. It is up in your face, chase, fire it up, don't be late, get some, set and stop as we rock.
I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be full, I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be full, I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like. I can be anything you'd like. I can be green, I can be red, I can be violent upside, I can be hurtful, I can be full, I can be anything you'd like.
No covered calls today. I just made 400 bucks. If this lasts till open, we'll see. I'm not gonna get excited about that part yet. Impact of this on OPEX. Well, the tips crossed in after hours, so that's a good sign. Basically all of the call options on GME just went in the money. So the market maker is going to have a little bit of an issue to deal with there. We'll see what they can get it back down to before open. Thanks, Turtle Teeth. Thank you guys, all of you. Tom, Stan Quixote. I'm sure the basket's going ape shit. Yeah, actually, it's not really. Express up a little bit, Bobby up a little bit, AMC up 2%. I mean, GME's up 32% right now. I don't really see anything else in the basket ripping hard. What about like costs? Sava's not really doing a lot. Nordstrom's, Macy's just a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be presenting too much pressure on the rest of the basket. A tiny bit, but it's not crazy. Positive fucking EPS. Cost up 6.5. Cost is a weird one. All right. You missed a Ko-Fi. Fucking missed a lot of shit. Chat's going wild. Ben, adopted by the Dans. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, give him a shout out for hooking you up with memberships. Welcome aboard. Let's see if I can find the Ko-Fi. We still got like 19 minutes until the earnings call starts. Let's fucking go. Where do you think we'll be going into FOMC? Oh, that was earlier. Okay. Yes, let us. Well, cash flow remained positive. EPS is a positive, which there was a slim chance at positive EPS. They had to beat on net sales. They had to get inventory down, and they had to drive down SG&A, and they managed to accomplish all three goals, actually beating holiday sales from Q4 2022, which means that they beat consumer expectations for December sales, which is very impressive. So yeah, I mean, everything came together. We got positive EPS, positive cash flow, and cash equivalents are at 1.4, almost 1.4 billion. Absolutely not, JC. It took too long. You're welcome. You can refer to this as turd packs. Shirt on, forward guidance. Shirt off on forward guidance. No. Well, they could do forward guidance at this call. They may not. Generally, 1 or 2 quarters of positive EPS would lead to forward guidance. I mean, this is directly from their statement, so I don't think the numbers are wrong. Chester, roll most of my SPX gains into GME OPEX like a true G-Gen. Thanks for your knowledge, dude. Tomorrow, Ivy shall go to the moon. You're the fucking man. That's awesome, Chester. When's shirt coming off? GME at like 35 again, maybe? Yes, I'm streaming. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm streaming earnings, Carl. What the fuck, dude? EDM mix, please. Oh no, my puts. Oh yes, my calls. I stopped out of most of my GME positions today. I'm super happy that I went from 100 contracts to 1 today before I close. Hopefully we see some institutional interest. Yeah, that'll be... We'll see. Maybe not right away. Maybe, how to bid the Amish King. Finally, DRS proved its worth. What's your PT for Jimmy now? We're almost. I mean, we got to see where Gamma Max is. Shit. Even our Gamma Max update. Well, maybe we'll have some of the after hours information if we do it later tonight. Gamma Max might be lagging into tomorrow though, because we've moved so far up the options chain. I don't know where Gamma. I mean, ideally, this prompts call buying tomorrow, and that would drive prices higher and Gamma Max higher. I mean, there's no way Wall Street Bets doesn't notice this, right? What time is earnings call? PST. I mean, you're 3 hours PDT. It's daylight savings time, but you're 3 hours behind. So 2 p.m. They already have a chat room called GME to the Moon going. Oh, Jesus Christ. Um, I mean, Ivy will definitely be elevated tomorrow. I don't know what GM's gonna move to. We haven't broken Gamma Max yet. Well, just a little bit. Wait, what was? Okay, so we're just at Gamma Max right now. So Gamma Max can still move up tomorrow as if more call interest comes in out of the money. The volatility shorts have been here the whole time. That's how the stock got super illiquid going into this week. Egon knew. GME just forced 50 BPS. I'm not fully convinced these guys can read. Who's on a live chat? How much EPS increase can we attribute to the turkey roasters? Wrong company. I just got here. There's actually good, solid results for GME. Yep. I would argue better than NVIDIA's earnings, given that GME is not a $600 billion company. What's EEDT? Is that like Jersey time? Bring on Wall Street Bets bag holders. I mean, investors. GME to 100K? No, that's not how this works. I was so excited with SPX run end of day that I forgot to buy GME calls. Oh well. Also, I can finally say that I've always truly felt in my heart. Fuck the pores. Welcome to Pigeon Whale, F1 Dan. Thanks so much, man. The volatility shorts are probably kind of sad right now, huh? Well, they're gonna be sad when they have to peel back all the calls they sold today that are now in the money. Shouldn't have sold them at 20. I don't know what they were thinking. This is great. JFresh said I could bang his wife if Jimmy hit 25. You're still 50 cents short. Full port GME 30C weeklies. Who says no? I mean, I have a lot of calls on GME right now. I'm pretty happy. Honestly, GME to 40 at this point? It's possible. We have to see what happens with call interest tomorrow. If call interest tomorrow picks up, I mean, we've seen Gamma Max on previous runs move anywhere from like $4 to $8. Like in March 2022, it moved up $8 after the initial test of Gamma Max. So if that's the case, let's say we don't see as much of that because macro conditions aren't as good now. But let's say we see a move of like 4, right? That puts us at 28. So we might see like 32, 35 on the high end is possible. I don't know what the fucking DRS numbers are yet. Is the 10Q out yet? It wasn't out a minute ago. No, it's still no 10Q out. Earnings such as this during around an OPEX, please say things that relate to this. It could be very significant. We'll see. We gotta see how much options interest going into close today on the like long side was not great. So if this forces interest into even weekly options, then Gamma Max can move up quite a lot. How much of this profit is related to store closures, fulfillment center shuttering, and layoffs? Oh, I would say a decent amount, but they moved the inventory. So that's good. Separately, how much is related to IMX announcing future of gaming with Polygon? I heard we're in the future. I'm picking up my Tron bike now. Did you call IMX out for being a bunch of frauds on Twitter again? No DRS numbers, shill. RU isn't real if it's not built on a foundation of DRS. Oh, shut the fuck up, JC. The full free cash flow is 52.3 million according to the 8K. The full year free cash flow is positive 52.3. Nice. Can you just humor me and check net sales for last year? I think it's wrong on the screen. Okay, that's Q4 2022. I don't. That's what it says in their fucking their report, the earnings release. It says 2.26 billion compared to 2.254 billion in the prior year's fourth quarter. So unless they fucking their earnings release is wrong, which I mean I guess it's possible, but that would be embarrassing. I mean it's right there. Whatever. I can't get it to line up, but you see where it's at. Fuck you. Obligations need covered from OPEX. They do. I mean they started covering them right away at close, right? Like liquidity picked up a bunch already in after hours, but there's more. I kind of already pointed out the tips, but yeah. Tips just crossed, so I mean we obviously have a fairly significant amount of room to move, especially if you compare it to like March OPEX or something, right? Even May, I mean, or August, we still have a ton of liquidity to realize here. So yeah, I mean like, you know, this is March OPEX, that's May OPEX. August is there, I mean, even August would still be in. There's a decent amount of upside still to be realized. Drop some likes, super stonk hate watchers. Or dislike it. I don't really give a shit. How many more times can we get Girk to saw tips to say the tips have just crossed? It's important, and it all pretty much happened in after hours. Like, if we look where they were before after hours opened, right? They were still back here. So a lot of liquidity realization already. Remember that as this moves more downwards, the effective volume on price reduces. So this initial pump, on very very low volume, has a more dramatic effect on price than later volume will have. Bartozo, welcome to Zillionaire, man. If anybody joined Zillionaire and missed it, hit me up on the Discord. I'll get you added to the country club after the stream.
Yeah, we might have a chance, but we ain't got ropes. Give us more than a chance, cause we ain't no coke. Get the cash in advance, cause we holding the float. If you are what you need to make gherkin,
fuck you, dork. What are the chances we see a cash dividend? Unlikely. That would be not in their best interest. Not yet. Maybe several quarters of positive EPS and positive free cash flow. And like they don't. 1.4 billion is not a huge war chest. So they can build up their cash and cash equivalents quite a bit more. We could see more quarters of positive EPS. And then a dividend could be something that they would consider. Here's the problem. And everyone who's still owns GME at this point, 2 years later, you're in it for growth, not for, not for just like, dividend accumulation. So a dividend is not ideal. It's not in the best interests of the current group of shareholders, right? We want to see GME grow. We want to see it move more into e-commerce. We want acquisitions, and dividends preclude those things. I'm in it for the girls. Well, obviously. Yeah. Volunteer to be sacrificed at a nautical gathering to bless the calls. Noted. So you're going to consider doing in the money CCs now when this run is done? I mean, you can only sell so many covered calls in the money, but sure, some. You want growth. You want GME to take that money, and you want them to pump it into the company, right? Literally never bipolar bear. How far to sell in the money if I want to keep it conservative with a $39 cost basis? Also, I picked up a bunch of July 20 Cs. I mean, take what you can get. Don't take too much risk selling in the money. We're not above Gamma Max right now, and you don't want to sell much further below Gamma Max, right? First of all, there's no liquidity. If the stock is trading at like, $25 and you're trying to sell $15 calls, there's no one buying these, right? And the people that are buying them are going to want to buy them at a discount. Which means that you can get exercised immediately. So, if we're trading above Gamma Max, say this is GM, we're trading up here at like 30, right? And GM's at like 25. GM is unsustainable at this price, right? So, calls at like 25, 22, 20, possible, right? Because the stock is going to pull back down below Gamma Max into the future, right? Selling calls at 15 here, which is going to be below Gamma Neutral, is super risky. Sometimes it can take 30 days or longer to fall below Gamma Neutral, right? And so you need to not only do you have to sell calls really far out, the liquidity down there is atrocious, and so when you go to get your fills, you're probably not going to do much better than if you just sold calls at 25 or 20 or 22. And if you have to sell a lot of calls like me, or if you have a lot of shares, you're probably not going to be able to sell a significant majority of them in the money. All right, the earnings call is starting, so I'm gonna switch over to that now. Yeah, they haven't started just yet. Oh.
Full year 2022 earnings conference call. Please note that certain statements made during the call constitute forward-looking statements
You
made
guys hear
pursuant
that?
to the safe harbor provisions of the Private Securities Litigation Act of 1995, as amended. Such forward-looking statements are subject to both known and unknown risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results
Audio's
to differ
good. Okay.
materially from such statements.
It's
These
really
risks and
this guy's
uncertainties are
always really
described in the
quiet.
company's earnings press release and its filings with the SEC. The forward-looking statements today are made as of the date of this call, and the company does not undertake any obligation to update the forward-looking statements. I will now turn the call over to GameStop CEO, Matt Furlong.
Good afternoon to everyone joining today's call. I want to begin by thanking all of our employees for their dedication and hard work over the past year. Similarly, I want to thank our customers, partners, and stockholders for their continued loyalty and enthusiasm. This continued passion was a strong tailwind for us in 2022 as we pivoted to focus on near-term profitability while pursuing longer-term sustainable growth. Before discussing our initiatives and results in detail, I want to take a moment to shed some light on where we've been, where we are, and where we're looking to go. The past 2 years have obviously been transformative for GameStop. It's critical to provide context as to why we're a stronger and increasingly efficient business today, one that is well-positioned in an otherwise challenged retail sector. At the start of 2021, prior to any major changes atop GameStop, the company had burdensome debt, dwindling cash, strained relationships with vendors, and no meaningful stockholders in the boardroom. The company's future was very uncertain, and market participants predicted we were heading for bankruptcy. Throughout 2021, we refreshed our board, rebuilt our management team, recapitalized the balance sheet, and paid down debt. We also established accretive partnerships, fortified our infrastructure, and explored growth opportunities, some of which materialized and some of which did not. As we began fiscal year 2022, our operating environment dramatically changed due to the onset of inflation, rising interest rates, and material macro headwinds. In keeping with our ownership mentality, we considered the implications for GameStop and our stockholders. Rather than stand still, we pivoted last year to cut costs, optimize inventory, and focus on enhancing the customer experience. We found efficient ways to improve shipping times, integrate online and in-store shopping experiences, and establish a culture of increased incentivization among store leaders and tenured associates. This pivot obviously included headcount reductions as we streamlined operations and cultivated a fast-paced, intense operating environment geared toward cost containment, efficiency, and profitability. Fortunately, the team we have in place today is embracing this culture and executing with effectiveness. The upshot of all this change is evidenced in our results this quarter. GameStop produced net income of $48.2 million compared to a net loss of $147.5 million in the fourth quarter of 2021. Looking ahead, we're aggressively focused on year-over-year profitability improvement while still pursuing pragmatic long-term growth. We are taking a number of steps in fiscal year 2023 to improve our efficiency and support these overarching goals. These include continuing to cut excess costs, including in Europe, where we have already initiated exits and partial wind downs in certain countries. Leveraging our strengthened financial position to continue obtaining improved terms from suppliers and vendors. Getting full console allocations to help us meet customer demand during this extended cycle. assessing partnerships with gaming and retail companies that can enable us to capture cost-effective top-line growth, leveraging our unique refurbishment capabilities to drive growth in pre-owned, and building a stronger presence in higher margin categories like collectibles and toys, where we have already seen pockets of growth. Although there is a lot of hard work and necessary execution in front of us, GameStop is a much healthier business today than it was at the start of 2021. We have considerable cash on hand, negligible debt, streamlined inventory, and a path to full-year profitability. Our plan is to use this strong positioning to continue delivering a unique customer experience and long-term stockholder value. Let me now turn to our financial results. Net sales were $2.226 billion for the quarter, compared to $2.254 billion in the fourth quarter of 2021. For the full year, net sales were $5.927 billion, compared to $6.011 billion for the fiscal year 2021. Net income was $48.2 million for the quarter, or 16 cents per diluted share, compared to a net loss of $147.5 million, or 49 cents per diluted share in the prior year's fourth quarter. The company had a net loss of $313.1 million, or $1.03 per diluted share for the full year, down from a net loss of $381.3 million, or $1.31 per diluted share for fiscal year 2021. SG&A was $453.4 million, or 20.4% of sales, compared to $538.9 million, or 23.9% of sales in last year's fourth quarter. For the full year, SG&A was $1.68 billion, compared to $1.71 billion for fiscal year 2021. Turning to the balance sheet, we finished the year with cash, cash equivalents, and marketable securities of $1.39 billion. We finished fiscal year 2021 with cash, cash equivalents, and marketable securities of $1.27 billion. We built back and invested our cash position over the course of the year and will continue to focus on maintaining a very solid balance sheet. At the end of the year, we had no borrowings under our ABL facility and no debt other than a low-interest, unsecured term loan associated with the French government's response to COVID-19. Capital expenditures for the quarter were $11.6 million, bringing full-year CapEx to $55.9 million. We expect a reduction in CapEx in 2023 and to remain at limited levels. In the fourth quarter, cash flow provided by operations was $337.2 million, compared to an outflow of $110.3 million during the same period last year. This reflects, in part, our focus on streamlining our inventory. We ended the year with $682.9 million in inventory, compared to $915 million at the close of fiscal year 2021. Entering the new year, we expect to continue to incur transformation charges in the first quarter of 2023 as we aggressively cut costs. And with respect to an outlook, we're not delivering guidance at this time. We want stockholders to judge us on our results instead of our words. In closing, there is still significant work ahead of us, and we are focused on building from this quarter's progress rather than reflecting on our gains. We're going to aggressively pursue further cost containment, efficiency, profitability, and pragmatic growth in the categories where we can consistently delight our customers. I'll wrap it up here for today. As always, we appreciate the enthusiasm and support from our customers, employees, and stockholders.
This concludes today's conference. You may disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you for your participation.
Fucking edged us. He didn't say anything about moving forward. It's fine. He has positive EPS, but this bastard's making the data speak on their behalf. Shills, I know. Pontificate about possible GME FOMO. we'll see what happens. I mean, people are probably going to buy weeklies. We're currently trading right at Gamma Max. I don't know. Obviously, Gamma Max could have moved up today with more call buying in the early part of today. Call buying kind of dwindled off into the late afternoon. I know, and obviously some calls were probably closed in advance of earnings. Those people may come back in. So Gamma Max can move up tomorrow, but we're gonna be a day behind. So our Gamma Max value is gonna be lagging, right? We'll have Gamma Max from close today, but we won't have Gamma Max from market open tomorrow. Yeah, no mention of DRS. Which I'm sure it will still be noted in the 10Q. When we get that. I don't think it's still materially relevant in their accounting process. So we will have information on DRS. I don't know. I guess as soon as we get the 10Q. Is the 10Q out yet? I can try to find it. If it is. The 8K is out. Is it in the 8K? No. Yeah, so you're gonna have to wait for the 10Q. First member free chat and positive EPS from me. Thanks, Eddie. I appreciate it. Todd Zeller, thanks so much, man. Do you think they didn't mention DRS because it doesn't fucking matter? Yeah. I mean it's not really I don't think it's that important, but I'm sure the value will still be accounted for in the 10Q for everyone panicking about it. It doesn't have any effect on the price of the stock. When you say 10K, you mean that Jimmy will hit 10,000, right? No. 8K? 8K? There's no 10K. There's 8K. Which doesn't have the DRS numbers in it. 2465. SS Hate Watch triggered. Yeah, whatever. Sold 25 March 31st calls, of course. $25. So you're not in the money yet. The second time I miss a big round like this, fuck my life, and probably getting a sign too. Why did you sell calls before earnings? Oh, my camera fucking turned off. Why did you sell calls before earnings? Yeah, but it's all right. I'm wrapping this up anyway. I don't have covered calls. I wasn't gonna fucking sell covered calls into potential positive free cash flow and positive EPS. I have long calls. I didn't sell any fucking calls. Who the fuck sells calls on T+2 of OPEX anyway? Just like asking to get fucked? DraxX, what IV bump can I put into my options profit calculator? IV will probably be open significantly higher, especially if we continue to move up in after hours. I would say, what was IV today opening? Like 105 or something like that. IV's probably going to be up around like 130, 140. If this price persists through pre-market. My option strat DD is finally coming to fruition. Yeah, well, as the holder of 700 odd calls on GME that were out of the money, I'm very happy now. What price can we open at tomorrow? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll be here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeah, bullish on GME again. It's a weird feeling, but fuck yeah. Let's do it. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Everyone have a great night, and thank you for tuning in.
Pickle, 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 pickle.